Good morning.
Good morning, teacher.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Welcome to the class.
Thank you.
Hello, hello, everybody.
I'm trying to connect my headphones, but it's not. Okay, there it is.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you very well.
Do you hear me? Well, no.
Yes, I can
Okay.
hear you, but it's kind of difficult to understand it. It sounds like kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know if the ventilador. Wait, give me a. Oh, no, wait. Now, can you hear me better?
Yes, I can hear you.
Better.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Okay.
All right, guys. Hello, hello. Welcome to the class. Where are your classmates? Oh my goodness, are they sleeping? My gosh. Okay, so today is speaking class. We are going to continue reviewing a little bit the topic that we studied yesterday, but then we are going to move on to a different topic to discuss a little bit. Okay, so I don't know where your classmates are, but I hope that they can join us soon. Do you remember the topic that we studied yesterday?
Connected. Yeah, connected.
Uh-huh.
Connected.
Specifically, do you remember the name?
Uh, the name I don't remember, but I remember we used the double H question.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Relative clauses. But as you said, they are basically, guys, connectors. We are just using them to connect ideas. So that is exactly what we are going to continue discussing in this moment. So today is the class number 2. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes.
Yes? Excellent. Okay, so today is June 13th, and we were discussing relative clauses. Remember that what is a clause? Do you remember the meaning for a clause?
A clause is like the idea, the main idea in the sentence, and the second one.
Okay, similar. And yeah, remember that the main clause is basically just a sentence, right? A full sentence with a complete meaning. We have subject, verb, and complement. But also we have some depending clauses or subordinating clauses. These clauses are the ones that depend on the main clause. And if we want to join them, if we want to put the sentences together, we can use different connectors. In this case, as you mentioned before, we can use the double H words. So if I'm talking about people, what is the double H word that I can use?
Who's
Who?
who's
Who?
who's who?
If I'm talking about a place,
Where?
where? That's correct. How about if I'm talking about an object?
Which?
Which or?
That.
Correct.
That is for everything.
That is for everything. That's correct. But imagine if I'm talking about a place, can I use that for a place? What do you
No,
think? Not really, right?
not really.
Remember that in this scenario, guys, we can use that instead of who or instead of which, but never to replace where. That is like not possible. Okay, then We were talking about two types of relative clauses. Do you remember? We only studied one yesterday. Do you remember the type of relative clause that we studied?
No, I don't remember.
Okay, anyone else? Do you remember the type of the relative clause that we studied yesterday? Yes, no?
No, the name I don't remember.
I'm considering to have like a surprise test. Okay, be careful. So yesterday we talked about the type 1, that is the defining clauses. So the defining clauses, guys, is that they are the ones that provide necessary information. Yesterday we mentioned that we can't omit this information, because if we don't have the information, basically we don't know who or the object that the person is talking about. And here we got an example. Imagine if I say, do you know the woman? Yesterday we talked. If I omit this part, what do you think? Can we understand the sentence? Do you know the woman?
Yes.
In this case, it's like something is missing, right? I mean, but which one? Which woman? We don't know exactly the woman that the person is talking about. That's why in the type 1, we cannot omit the information. Understood? Yes?
Yes.
Any questions so far? Okay. Now, that was the type 1. Yes? Do you have a question?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So just remember, defining clauses, we cannot omit the information. The information is totally necessary to know the person or the thing that somebody is talking about. Now, let's continue. There is the type 2. The type 2 is known as non-defining clauses. So what is this? They provide extra information. So if I say extra information, do you think that is totally necessary or not? What do you think?
Not.
Exactly. It is not essential. So imagine if I say Abbey Road, which was recorded by the Beatles, it's my favorite album. If I omit this information, what do you think? Is it still with sense? Does it make sense? This one is my favorite album.
Yes.
Yes, it makes sense. I mean, si yo les digo esta oración, ¿me entenderían? ¿Sí o no?
Yes.
Yes. So in this type of relative clauses, the sentence, look, la que está unida por el which, this clause is just extra information. It's just additional information to be a little bit more specific, but that information is not essential. We can easily omit it, and it's not going to change the meaning of the sentence. Okay, so here I need volunteers for reading this paragraph, please.
Me, teacher.
Thank you, go ahead.
Type 2. Relative clause give extra information. Without this information, we still know which person or thing somebody is talking about. For example, who are always online is extra information about my friends. Without this clause, it is still clear who the speaker is talking about.
All right. Now, important. What happens in the part 2? In the relative clause must be separated by a comma. So the punctuation is important. In this scenario, guys, imagine I have a comma here and I have a comma here. So the non-defining clause or the extra information, we need to put it between commas. In the previous type, in the type 1, do we need comma in the previous one?
No.
No, because the information is necessary. But because in this one is not necessary, look, I just need to add a comma. Okay, let's see some examples. And something that you have to keep in mind too. In the non-defining clauses, we cannot use that. Okay, never. In the previous one, we can use that. En lugar de decir who, we can say that. Ah, do you know the woman that is standing over there? No problem. But in the non-defining clauses, guys, we can't. Okay, we cannot use that. For example, which was recorded. We cannot say like that was recorded. No. Okay, so we cannot change who or which for that. Is it clear? Yes.
Yes.
So let's see some examples. I have here some sentences. These are some main clauses. They make sense by themselves, but we need to add the relative clause. For example, Andrew is feeling very proud. If you read this sentence, Andrew is feeling very proud. Does it make sense, the sentence? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, it makes sense. I mean, if I say, hey guys, Andrew is feeling very proud, will you understand the sentence?
Yes.
Yes. So now we are just going to add extra information. So to be specific, Andrew, but which Andrew? Ah, Andrew, who has just graduated. So this information is just extra to be a little bit more specific. And if you see, I need, look, commas. Andrew, who has just graduated, is feeling very proud. This is the relative clause type 2. Let's see the other sentences. If I say, the climber was rescued yesterday. Do you understand the sentence number 2?
Yes.
Totally, exactly. Okay, let's add extra information. Which of these sentences can we add? What do you think?
He has been lost for a week.
Ah, very good. So instead of saying he, what do you think? What is the relative clause that I can use?
Who?
Ah, very good. Who? Because I'm talking about a person. So look at this. The climber who had been lost for weeks was rescued yesterday. Again, if you see, guys, in these sentences, this is only extra information. It's not essential, it's not totally necessary. That's why we put it between commas. Okay? Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Okay, guys, if you have questions, tell me. Okay, help me with the number 3. What do you think? What will be the complete sentence with the extra information? What do you think?
I think my best friend lives there.
Okay.
And with the connector, it could be Venice or Venice. It's a beautiful city. Where no.
But you got the idea. You got
Yeah,
it.
Venice is a beautiful city where my best friend lives there. I think. It could be
Okay.
that.
Just remember that the extra information, guys, we are putting it in the middle. So that's why we put it in commas. So the idea that you got is a very good idea. Just like switch the order. We can say, look, Venice, where my best friend lives, it's a beautiful city. Remember that the information here, guys, is additional. Okay, it's just extra. We can omit it or not. And we put it here to specify the place, to give more details about the place that I'm talking about now. In the previous one, I'm talking about the climber. The climber, so I give extra information about the climber. That's why we put it here in the middle. Understood? Yes?
Yeah.
So imagine if you say, I'm talking about this city. Okay, but I don't know exactly what is the city about. Where my best friend live. If I omit this sentence, but where my best friends live, does the sentence still make sense?
Yes.
Yes, totally. All right. Now, look at the next one. Robert is finally retiring.
Robert, who has worked all his life, is finally retiring.
All right. Do you agree, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Totally. Very good. So imagine we can omit that information. Who has worked all his life? We can omit it. It's just extra information. How about the number 5? What do you think?
The children who their father is from Japan speak fluent Japanese.
Okay, everybody, do you agree?
Yes.
Very good. The children whose father is from Japan, that is the extra information. We can easily omit it. Speak fluent Japanese. Nice job. And the last one, what do you think?
The White House, where the U.S. president lives there, is in Washington, D.C.
Okay. Do you agree, everybody? Yes. Now, in this scenario, we can omit the word there, right? Because remember that the US president lives there. Why the word there is no longer necessary in this sentence? Because we already mentioned the noun. So because we have the noun, the word there It's not totally necessary. So look, in this scenario, guys, where the US president lives is just extra information. So that is the characteristics of the relative clauses type 2 or non-defining clause. Okay, it's just extra information. Don't forget to put it between commas, and that's all. Is that clear? Yes? Ready for an exam?
Maybe, but yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's the attitude. Only one says yes, the other ones are like, I don't know. Okay, exam. Okay, guys. I have some sentences here. I just want you to tell me which ones are true and which ones are false. For example, relative clauses describe or give extra information about something. Is that true or false? Uh-huh.
I think it's
Yes,
true.
true.
It's true? Are you sure?
Yes, it's true.
And actually, guys, yes, we have been studying that we have two types of relative clauses. And what they are just doing is just to give more information. Information that can be extra or essential. The number 2, volunteer for reading the sentence number 2, please. Uh-huh. Volunteer.
Information in relative clauses type 1 is always essential for understanding the sentence.
Is that true or false?
False.
It's true.
True.
It's
Are you
true.
sure? Yes?
True.
It is
Yes.
true. Yes. Remember, guys, in the type number 1, the information is totally necessary. We cannot omit it. Okay. Do I need commas in the relative clauses type 1?
Nope.
No, we don't need it. Excellent. Okay. Number 3, volunteer for reading.
Some related clauses give additional information which is not essential for understanding.
What do you think, guys? Is that true?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And the rest of you? Only Fernandez is yes. And you guys?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Remember, relative clause type 2. They are just giving extra information. That information is not essential. Okay? Number 4, volunteer for reading. Come on, let's participate.
Relative clauses that give additional information are called defining.
Thank you. Is that true?
I think it's false.
And
I
you
think it's
guys?
false too.
Why? Why do you think that is false?
That kind of relative clause give necessity information.
Ah, very good. That's correct. So guys, the relative clauses that are giving additional or extra information, what is the name?
Non-defining.
Correct. Exactly. Pretty good job. Okay, the number 5, we can use exactly the same relative pronouns in the defining and not defining relative clauses. When we say relative pronouns, we are talking about the double H words, okay? the same connectors. Can we use the same connectors in the defining and non-defining relative clauses? Like who, which, where, can we use exactly the same?
False.
False?
I think yes, except for that.
Except that. Mm.
Ah, very good. Exactly. We can use all of them except that. In which relative clause I cannot use that? In the defining or in the non-defining?
Non-defining.
Exactly. When we are using non-defining clauses, we cannot use that. Excellent. So far, so good, guys. You have the correct answers. Okay, in the last one, the punctuation is different for the defining and not defining clauses. Is that true or false?
True.
True? Are you sure?
Yes.
What is the difference?
We use comma in the not defining clauses.
Pretty good. That's correct. So if you see, guys, this is like basically the most important essential information when we are talking about relative clauses. So remember, we have two sentences and we want to put the sentences together. If we want to join them, we are going to use the relative pronouns. What is that? The double H words. We have two types of relative clauses. Type 1, defining, that we provide essential information. Type 2, non-defining, is just extra information. We can omit it and we can put it between commas. That's all. Is that clear? Yes?
Yes.
Any questions? Okay, so far so good. You passed the exam. All right. So I hope you don't forget information. I will continue asking. Now, because today's speaking, we are going to continue talking and I want to everybody participates, please. We are going to talk about the cost of work stress. Have you ever felt stress in your life? Yes or
Yes.
not?
Always.
Always. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's find out some vocabulary about stress and then we are going to comment about it. So I have some words here. Let's match the definitions with these words. Some of these words are very common. I'm pretty sure that you already know them. So what do you think? Overwhelmed. What is that? Overwhelmed.
Maybe a feeling of a strong emotion caused by too much work or stress.
Okay. What about burnout?
Oh,
Tiredness caused by too much work and stress.
Okay. How about unwind? Do you know what unwind is?
no, I will let that.
Nobody.
Okay, unwind is when you don't worry, when you are like, ah, is not important. So I just want to rest. I don't want to worry about it.
So it will be to relax and stop thinking about stress.
All right. How about procrastinate?
Is to delay or wait to do something until the last minute.
Okay. How about cope with?
I don't know what is probably.
Okay, cope is a synonym of deal. Oh, I have to deal with a lot of work. So they are just synonym. I have to cope with a lot of work.
The last one.
The last one? Okay. How about stress management?
Ways to deal with the stress.
Okay, ways to deal with the stress. So anxiety, feeling worried. Okay, are you sure about these answers or would you like to change one of them?
I'm
think
not sure about sorry about the stress management and cope with.
Okay, so you think that are the opposites. And you guys, do you agree? Do we change it?
In my case, no, stress management is like cool down the stress, not find a solution.
Okay. Anyone else? Do you agree with these answers? Let's imagine that this is your exam, so 1 point less for each mistake. One extra audio for each mistake. Ooh. Okay, are you ready? Yes? Look. Very good job. Excellent. So all the answers are correct. So if you see, guys, here we got different vocabulary. Stress management. This is the way that you deal with the stress, right? The way that you can control it, that you can, keep calm during the stressful situations. So do you consider that you are good with the stress management? Are you at it or not? What do you think?
sometimes I try to be on one. I'm
Okay.
relaxed and not thinking about stress.
All right, pretty good. How about you guys? Are you good at management stress or not?
Consider, yes, I have a good stress management since I am part of the support IT team. And
There you learned.
manage people is not easy.
That is the most difficult job in the world, to deal with people.
Yes,
We are people, we are difficult guys. So
people don't know what they are asking.
yeah, it's very complicated. And remember that we are human beings. So the problem is that you have to deal not only with people, not only with the problem, but with the emotions. And that is totally difficult. Okay, anxiety is when you feel worried, when you are nervous about something. Have you ever felt anxious or have you ever felt anxiety?
Always.
Oh my gosh. Every Monday.
Yeah, something. Yeah, no. Every day. Sorry. So yeah, I feel
Anxiety?
anxious something.
Anxious is the adjective, like I am
Yeah,
anxious. Anxiety is the noun.
I feel anxiety sometimes.
Especially for the future, guys. Remember that anxiety is when you feel worried about the future. Is there anything right now that is causing you anxiety, for example? Is there a future event that makes you feel a little anxious? Or not right now?
It has been a lot of layoff in the company, so that makes me feel anxious.
Yeah, totally. Very good. What else? Anyone else? Are you relaxed or a little bit anxious? No?
For example, when you do something and you are not very sure and is the correct decision, for example, and then you are thinking, oh my God, I don't know if it was a good option or I did something good, or I don't know what happened in the future.
That's another example, exactly. And you are just thinking about what will happen. Did I make the good decision or not? And you are worried about it. And when you feel a lot of anxious, when you are with a lot of stress, you can feel or you can be overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. This is like, my gosh, too much for me. Okay, I cannot deal with this. Have you ever felt overwhelmed?
Yes.
And you guys?
Yes, sometimes at work.
All right. Now we have burnout. What is burned out? This is like a new illness in our daily lives. Some years ago, this term doesn't exist. I mean, didn't exist, I'm sorry, but now is very common and frequently. Have you ever heard about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever suffered burned out?
Yes.
Not really, I think. I have felt overwhelmed, but I'm not sure if I felt burnout. I think not.
Okay. Remember that burnout, okay, overwhelmed is in your head, right? A lot of thoughts that comes to your mind and you cannot deal with that. It's a lot of emotions. Burnout is not only mental. In this moment is physical. When you start to feel tired, when you start to feel in your body like sick. So if it is not only in your mind, if it is already in your body, if you can feel it, so that is burnout. So imagine if you start to feeling tired, if you start to feel pain, that is burnout. So have you ever felt it?
No,
Yes?
my case
No?
not. Not yet. And I
No,
hope
yes.
never.
I hope you never, you never
Yeah.
did. All right. So actually it's very serious, guys. So if you feel overwhelmed, let's try to calm down and relax because the next step is the burnout. Okay, so be careful. Okay, procrastinate. Have you ever done that, guys? Have you ever delayed or wait until the last minute?
Yes, always.
Guys, and you?
Yes, teacher.
Oh my goodness. So is that good to procrastinate or is something negative?
It's negative.
Negative.
Totally right.
I think
Okay,
that gives you more stress.
that's correct. Exactly. You can relax the first days, but in the end, it's going to be worse. Okay, unwind. Remember that unwind is just a synonym of the verb relax. Okay, so you stop thinking about stress. That is basically the essential part here. Unwind. Do you like or do you unwind frequently, guys? Do you take your time to stop thinking about stress? Do you take your time to relax? Yes? No?
When I feel overwhelmed, I try to be online and breathe and don't think about it. it's just for a moment, so be relaxed, be happy.
That's good. Like the song, right? Don't worry, be happy.
Yeah.
Cool. It is important, guys. So remember that unwind in this scenario is a verb. So you can say, I always try to unwind during the weekend, for example. I like to unwind at home, watching TV, or things like that. And the last one is cope with. Cope is like to deal. Oh, I have to deal with a lot of things. I have to manage these issues. What are the things that you need to cope with daily? For example, your classmate mentioned he has to cope with customers, with people, right? And that is difficult. What else? What are the other things that we need to cope with daily? What do you think? When you go to
Traffic.
your job? Ah, very good. Traffic, exactly. Ah, the traffic. I had to cope with the traffic every day. Pretty good. What else?
If you have kids,
Very good, exactly. Especially imagine if you work from home and your kids are running all day, every day. So it's difficult. What else?
I think well sometimes we have to deal with clients, but sometimes we have to deal with our coworkers. Sometimes they could be they are complicated.
That's true. Especially, guys, imagine if everybody is stressed. I mean, it's difficult to deal with ourselves, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes dealing with coworkers is also difficult. Okay, pretty good. Is clear, guys, the meaning of all these words? Yes, is that clear?
yes.
Yes.
Okay, I hope so. I will ask you later just to see if you remember the words. Now, discussing about this topic about stress, we have some questions over here, but I think that we are going to omit it because of the time, because the idea is to check more vocabulary. So we got here different words like employee, disengagement. Have you ever heard that? Employee,
No.
disengagement. Anyone?
Disengagement is when an employee leave the company, right? Or what is?
Similar. It depends because it can have like different interpretations. For example, guys, imagine I will give you an example. Do you like your job?
Yes.
So when you like your job, you do it with enthusiasm, right? You can say like, hey, actually, I like my job. Um, I want to do it. I am responsible with my job. But if you don't like your job, do you think that you are going to work with enthusiasm or just like, ah, I don't care? What do you think?
Yeah, if the person doesn't like his job, well, there maybe he's doing the thing with um without enthusiasm.
Uh-huh. Enthusiasm. So in this case, guys, if we say employee disengagement, it's like disconnection. The person is still working, but just because they don't feel an attachment to their job. It's like están desapegados, right? They don't feel a connection. They are just doing the job just because of the money, but they don't really care. If the job works, good. If the work doesn't work, good. It doesn't matter. Okay? So what are the main causes for employee disengagement? What do you think?
Employee needs a mortgage to be engagement. or a big credit.
Could be, exactly. What else? Can you name another cause?
Low salaries.
Mm-hmm. What else?
Maybe the boss doesn't recognize his effort or his job.
Yeah, imagine, guys, just imagine yourself if you are doing a lot, if you don't sleep because you continue working, and then when the job is done and it was perfect, and your boss is like, ah, yeah, thanks. So how would you feel? You will be like, man, I did a lot for nothing. So that are some of the causes of employee disengagement. Have you ever felt like that? Yes, no? In the previous
Sometimes.
jobs, for example? Yes, no? Okay, now work-related stress. So imagine, guys, if I ask you, what are some of the reasons of work-related stress? What is that?
People.
I'm sorry?
People.
Okay, people could be definitely. I mean, and when we say people, we are talking about everybody, customers, co-workers, supervisors. What
I think
else?
also could be bad management when they are not able to take good decisions,
Very
and that
good.
affects
Yeah,
you.
totally excellent. What else? Another causes of work-related stress? Uh-huh.
When you have to finish a lot of work in a small time.
Yes, the deadlines. Imagine if the deadlines are like kind of impossible. I mean, a lot of work and they say, okay, this is for tomorrow. And you are like, what? So yeah, that is another reason for work-related stress. Pretty good. Now we have work-related stress, but also we have work-related injuries. What do you understand? What is that? Uh-huh.
Not sure if that is related when the stress at work causes you health issues.
It is actually. So guys, when we are talking about work-related injuries, yeah, this is when you suffer an illness or an injury caused by something that happens at work, all right, related to a work environment. So imagine if you are burned out, is that a work-related injury? Yes or no?
Yes, because you feel it in your body.
Exactly. Imagine if you don't eat at work on time, if you don't have a schedule for eating, what will happen to you? You will suffer gastritis. Is that a work-related injury? Yes or not?
Yes.
Gastritis, migraine, even heart attack. Some people have suffered heart attack in their job. So those are examples of related injuries. Have you ever suffered a work-related injury in your job or in your previous jobs?
Yeah, in my previous job, I had to work at night, day and night. So after a couple of years, I definitely feel burned out.
Yeah, my goodness. So you have to rotate some days
Yeah,
in the morning, some days at night.
yeah, 2 weeks a day and 2 weeks at night.
Wow, I cannot imagine that. Oh my goodness. How do you survive?
Well, I was younger.
Okay.
I think at this point, I could do that anymore.
Yeah, don't do it anymore, please. That is not healthy. It's difficult. So imagine you change all your schedule. So yeah, that's hurts you. What else, guys? Have you ever suffered work-related injuries? Yes? No? All right. Now look at the next question. What does a relationship manager do? What is that? Relationship manager. What do you understand by that meaning? By that phrase? What is that?
I think uh, it's a person who make the relationship with a client. For example, people who work in a sales team, I think.
Mm-hmm. Correct. So a relationship manager is a person, right, who improves a relationship between the company and in this case, the clients. That's what they do. Imagine, do they have a lot of responsibility on their shoulders? Yes or not?
Yes.
So do you think that they had like a lot of work related stress? Or not?
I think for to be a manager, you need to be really good at stress management.
Totally.
Some people are able to do that and others not.
That's correct. And that's why, guys, some people are very good as managers, and some other people are like, we don't know why that person is a manager, right? Because they are not good at dealing with people. They are not good at relationship manager. Now, have you ever heard the phrase eating our emotions? Have you ever heard that?
No.
I don't know if when you, for example, you feel angry, but you don't anything. You stay like quiet.
That is the
So
one that outside you're smiling, but
uh-huh.
inside you are burning. So
Yeah.
that is the meaning of eating our emotions. Have you ever done that? Have you ever eaten your emotions?
Yes, sometimes. Overall, when I at the office and try to keep uh, fine or look like everything is okay.
Especially imagine if you're talking to your customers, right? I mean, you are
Yes.
always smiling, you are always positive, but inside it's like, man. How about you guys? Have you ever eaten your emotions? Yes? No? Is that healthy, guys? Eating emotions is healthy or not?
No, it's not healthy. because you are dying inside. Yes.
That's true. So how about you guys? Is that healthy or not? Or what can we do instead of eating our emotions?
I think it's not healthy, and we need to process that emotions because if we don't process, we can have a burnout or overwhelming.
Exactly. We have to search some ideas of dealing with that emotions. For example, when you are totally angry, and I know that you works with systems, with computers, and there is a manage that you can deal with that. I don't know if you have ever seen this object. Let me show you. Um, have you ever seen this, guys? Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
If you are very angry, right, you can just smash that big enter. So, do you think that is this a good way to avoid, you know, a lot of emotions inside of you?
Yes, I think it's a good, it could be a good option.
Yes,
Yeah.
also we can add names instead of enter.
Okay. Well, if that works for you, yeah. I wonder what names will you write? Huh. Okay, interesting. But yeah, so eating emotions obviously is not healthy. We just have to try to deal with it. Now, have you ever had any experience of public speaking? Have you ever given a speech in front of a lot of people? Yes, no? In your job, in your previous job, or in any other activity, have you ever spoken in front of a lot of people?
I've done an streaming video, but
Ah,
it's not, you don't have the people in front of you, but a lot of people watch the video.
and how do you feel?
Um, um, in my case, maybe you are, you have a, so you feel shy at the beginning, but as you get into it, uh, you feel comfortable.
Very good. A little bit more relaxed.
Yes.
And okay, pretty good. How about you guys? Have you ever spoken in front of a lot of people, or have you ever given speech? Yes? No?
In my
Never?
case, only when I have to I have an speech in my classes at the university. So yeah, I was at the beginning I feel nervous, but um, when I talking, I feel more comfortable.
It's basically just at the beginning, basically.
Yes, I think. Or
Okay.
maybe when I with an important person, maybe, and and I was like, oh my god, I don't know what to say.
All right, pretty good. So imagine public speaking can cause stress. For a lot of people, like giving a speech, talk in front of people, that could be very stressing situation. And they have to learn how to deal with that. All right, so guys, here we got some vocabulary. I hope you remember because tomorrow I will ask you or during the week. Okay, so take note, try to review it, and I hope you don't forget this one and also this. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't have more time. Remember, guys, that we have our platform. So it's necessary for you to start working on the platform. Don't leave it as the last minute, please. Okay? Do you have any questions before leaving, guys?
No, teacher.
No questions?
No.
Okay, pretty good. So guys, thank you so much for being in the class and thank you so much for participating. We are going to continue tomorrow, so have a wonderful day. Don't be stressed and relax, okay? See you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you,
Goodbye.
teacher.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, teacher.